if you're standing in a place where there are desires that you hold that are vivid desires that have not actualized in the fullness that you want, then there's always some vibrational work to do.
For sure.
And the vibrational work is easier than you have ever been letting it be. For example, as we listened to you just now, you aligned and then didn't, and aligned and then didn't, and then aligned and then didn't, because of the different focus, because you've done a lot of thinking and you're really good at focusing. Your energy did something that most people's energy doesn't do unless they are really accustomed to focusing. You jumped some discs right in this conversation. So what we're getting at is the very thing that could be the cornerstone or the basis, the one subject out of 10 that you could choose that would put you on that high-flying disc, doesn't hold you there very long, because that's not where you focus, because your active mind makes you want to analyze everything else in your life. And if we could just convince all of you, especially you, if we could just convince you that your work is one simple, you might even say simple, silly thing. Your work is one simple thing, and that is choose the disc. Choose it and choose it and choose it and choose it and choose it. Because you understand you've already put all of the requests in the vortex. You understand step 1 has been taken care of. You understand that law of attraction and source energy have already gathered up all the cooperative components, and that the vibrational reality already exists. And now you understand that you have one singular work, and that is to find the frequency. Well, what subjects help you find the frequency the most easily? Of all the things that you said to us, walking your kids to school was it. And it only lasted for a minute, and you didn't stay there very long, and you were all over the place on all kinds of other subjects that from our point of view are irrelevant to the only thing that is relevant, which is which disc you're choosing.
Right.
You see. So sometimes we love you so much, you'd rather be focused and concentrated on a negative disc than simple and free-flowing on a positive disc. In other words, if we say to you, enjoy the sunrise, you say, yeah, we get one every day, bro. In other words, the beauty of your sunrises and what it means in terms of what your planet's doing in its revolving and its proximity to other planets. Just the trying to softly comprehend the perfection of what all of that means. If you just use something like that to focus on, and let it be your focal point, and don't clutter your mind with the erroneous, unnecessary, compromising, resistance-filled details that you have been justifying your experience with for all of these years. None of that is relevant. 3 things are relevant. What you've asked for, that's done. What's been amassed, that's done. How you going to get it? Well, I'm going to worry about this, and I'm going to worry about this, and I'm going to worry about this, and I'm going to think about this, and I'm going to stew about this, and I'm going to fuss about this. And we're exaggerating, but you are fine-tuning. And you have the ability to clean up your vibration in way more ways than you are applying. You have the ability to stay there. You do. You have the ability to stay there. You don't have one excuse in the world. You got a whole lot of things you think are your excuses, but you don't have one excuse in the world to choose things that don't feel good when you've got all of those things that do feel good. But you got to practice them so they come more easily. Because wherever you've been hanging out, that's what comes more easily, because the momentum that law of attraction provides makes it come more easily. So the question of the day, of the lifetime, of the universe, the question that we want to help you ask and answer is, oh wait, we're out of time. The question that we want you to focus upon is, what could I do to get myself there? What could I think about? That's the only question. What could I find to think about that would put me right now for 17 seconds in this high-flying, good-feeling place? And as you find those thoughts, what could I do to keep that momentum going? Just find it. Law of attraction will do the work. Just find a thought. Oh, that's all. Yeah, law of attraction will do the work. Law of attraction will help you find another thought like it, another thought like it, till you've got momentum, till you have knowing, till you know what you really want. And we know what you want. We know what you all want. You want control of your vibration, and never-ending choices with which to apply your focus. That's what you want. You don't want to get it all done any more than you want to eat all of the food that you will eat for the rest of your life today. You think you do. Don't go to the Cheesecake Factory. They'll try to make you believe that. You don't want to eat it all today. You want it to come incrementally. You want it to sustain and nurture you forevermore. And that's the way you want the contrast to sustain and nurture you. You want the contrast to sustain you. You want it to inspire you. You want it to help you to evolve. You want the contrast to help you to decide. You want the contrast to help you find preferences. But what you want above all other things, you want to exercise your ability to focus. You want to choose the disc. Not focus the concept, not focus the idea, not convince anybody else of it, to focus the energy. That's what you want. You want to focus the energy, which just means you want to feel good. Yeah. We've been saying for a long time. Everything that everybody wants, whether it's a material object, a pile of money, a relationship, a circumstance, an event, everything you want is because you think you will feel better in the experiencing of it. And if we could just convince you that you can find the feeling first and practice it until you own it, until you know it. Now, law of attraction will just flesh it out with all of the details as you realize and experience the revelations and the coordinations and the synchronizations and the cooperations. Creating is rendezvousing. So deliberate creation is establishing the vibration that provides the rendezvous that I prefer. We would like to make a very clear statement. It's easier to exercise your freedom in the early stages of momentum. And when you're in an occupation where there has been long-standing pushing against, there's some momentum going, but it's not momentum that you can't override. In other words, in all fields, in all endeavors, in everything that you do, there are layers of vibrational frequencies. And if you'll just choose your frequency and then go to work, choose your frequency and then go to work, choose your frequency, then write the letter, choose your frequency and then choose your frequency, and then you'll begin to notice everything that matters to you conforming to your frequency. Where most of you are picking a frequency without realizing it, and then law of attraction is causing the conforming to that frequency, and then you feel not free because you said, I didn't choose this stuff. And we say, yes you did. No I didn't. Yes you did. No I didn't. Well, you chose it vibrationally. Well, I don't want to hear that crap, Abraham. I want to talk about vibration. I want to talk about what's happening to me. And we say, what's happening to you is because of the vibration that you're choosing. How do I know? We say there's two ways you can tell what disc you're choosing. There's two ways. By how you feel when you choose it, and by what manifests because you chose it. It requires some caring about how you feel. We would use the word focus rather than discipline, because discipline is like trying to hold back the momentum that I've already established. So many people are using their effort and their discipline to overcome their sloppy choosing of discs. And when you start deliberately choosing discs, then you don't have to use effort and discipline to overcome what you've chosen vibrationally. The universe just says, here. Esther's laughing the other day because she chose a disc that didn't feel that good, and she actually heard the universe say, oh, you don't like that? Here's some more. There's lots more where that came from. Yeah, caring about how you feel, that's a good way. I'm going to choose my mood. What mood? It's first thing in the morning. What mood? I'm going to be sullen. No. No. I'm going to be overwhelmed. That's familiar. I'm going to be hateful. No, not so much. Early on, they're your options. Hateful, overwhelmed, revengeful, fearful, hopeful, eager, enthusiastic, loving, appreciative, happy, high flying, low flying, In other words, you can use whatever words, you know what they feel like. You get to choose, but you got to choose early. So you choose early, ah, and then your kids wake up, ah. Go live with grandma. But as you choose more and more, as you deliberately choose more and more, then it's just easier. You gain momentum on that. It just gets easier and easier and easier. Until in time, you've given so little airtime to those things that don't feel so good, because you really only have a handful of issues that are causing you to repetitively believe. And now, perhaps we should put it on the disclaimer that you sign that says that this will be videotaped and that your voice may be recorded and so forth. You can't go back. Once you know this stuff, you'll never again feel any kind of emotion and not know that you've chosen some disc. And then for a while, you'll be standing by waiting for the manifestation of it. And as the manifestation never betrays you, because the law of attraction never gets squirrely on you. It always gives you exactly back the frequency that you're putting out. In time, you'll gain deliberate, conscious, joyous control of your vibrational output. And when you do, now you've got deliberate, joyous, conscious control of what comes back to you. And people will be watching you and they'll say, how is it that everything always works out for you? And if you're very wise, you'll say everything always works out for all of us. It's always working out for us. It's giving us exactly the disc that we are positioning ourselves on and practicing. And you know that. Think about the people that you know. You know them. You could almost name the people that you know that you're up close to, and you could identify the disc that they hang out on. And the fact that you know them well means that you're on there with them. Pick a disc. Pick a vibration. Pre-manifestation. Today, this is the disc I'm on because I said so. And because I've practiced it, and so it's easy for me to mean it and stay there. And now, let's just see what manifestations will ensue as a result of selecting this. And the first day, you might make it through breakfast. Maybe not that far. But after you go for it the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, before you know it, you'll have some pretty good momentum going. And then to watch what happens as a result of deliberately choosing your core grid, your vibrational stance, your point of attraction. I'm picking a disc and watching what happens. You're free to choose any disc. But momentum makes you not know you're free. People say, Abraham, doesn't feel like I'm thinking my thoughts. It feels like they're thinking me. Well, that's because you haven't been getting out ahead of it. You're responding to what you're observing. So you observe it and you offer a vibration. You offer a vibration, more comes, which you observe, which causes you to offer vibration, which causes more to come, which you observe. And so there's that momentum cycle. But any of you can break out of it anytime you choose to. You're free to choose. We're going to tell you briefly that this creative process is 3 steps. The first step is ask, and you can't stop doing that. The contrast causes you to ask all day, every day. So you're asking, recovering for your sound, asking. And in that asking, you are doing step 1 again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Law of attraction and your inner being, that which man wants to call God, that which is source energy, is there with what you've asked for, experiencing that highest frequency that you have discovered, the frequency of love and appreciation, the frequency of expansion. So here is this vortex version of you. So step 1, step 2 happened without you even really knowing that it happened. It was just a consequence of being focused out here on the leading edge of creation. But step 3 is really the step that we want you to focus upon all day, every day. That's the allowing part. That's the you becoming vibrationally resonant with what you've put into your vortex. And that's the part that's a little tricky for you, because it's not easy for you to be standing where you're standing in the absence of something that you want and